Hey folks, this is how LAX40K intends on reanimating Wednesday. First, what we're going to do is we're going to jump on to our Happy Dappy LAX40K Discord, and you'll see in the Get Starting channel, we have a number of steps. First step, make sure we go ahead and get Tabletop Simulator on Steam preferably, just because we have some workshop stuff all set up there. It costs 20 bucks. It goes on sale quite frequently. Go ahead, grab it up. After we do that, on Steam as well, we have a link to a collection that we've made of various mods done by other authors. We're going to continue to work on it, making sure that we add models as best as we can that are available. There might be some proxying that needs to happen here. And then, of course, we also have tables associated with these mods that are quite similar to the tables that we used on Wednesdays in the past, as well as that we use in our tournaments. So pick up this. There's a lot of different ways to get 40K models into Tabletop Simulator. Some of you may have already done it already. Cool. That should work in effect with what we've done here. So you shouldn't need to change anything. But this is nice for the folks who haven't done anything yet because it's just one simple click. Once again, to just essentially subscribe. And that should be, somewhere up here. All right. Building an army. So I'm going to go ahead now and launch Tabletop Simulator from Steam. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and create a session, a single player session, because I don't need it to be anything else. And then we'll go into Workshop. And of course, this is after we've grabbed up the collection of mods that we've made. So Workshop. You'll see that I have two folders up here. I've organized these myself because I'm OCD. In the start, it'll look like this Harlequin one right here and like these smoke effects, right? It'll all just be essentially jumbled like between tables and armies and stuff like that. It's really quick just to go ahead and say move to and then select where you want it to go, right? Much like any other file system. Jump over into 40K. I went ahead then and made a difference between the tables and the armies, right? And here you've got your armies. So you can quickly go into, say, any faction. I don't know, Dark Angels. Load it. Might take a second or two to load. Again, you kind of can see the number of objects and how quickly it's loading right up there. And actually, I think this got an update since the last time I've used it, so it's taking a little bit longer to load than usual. Cool. So that's loaded up. You can see I can scroll across here. This doesn't replace using a rulebook and stuff like that. Some of these have the profiles listed on them. I won't lie. Some of the mods are updated. Some of the mods aren't updated. We're just utilizing this for the models. Make sure you've got your rulebooks, right? So I'm going to be able to go ahead then with this and say that I want, Lazarus in my list. I want Samael on a bike in my list. I want to go ahead and grab up this Venerable Dreadnought. Oh, forgive the lift speed and the noise there, right? And let's say I want two of these in my list, right? There was only one present on the table for me to select. I'm able to just go ahead, copy, paste, boom. Now I have three of them. Same thing with anything else, right? Let's say I want a bunch of Deathstorm drop pods and stuff like that. Oh, wow, that's kind of cool. This one actually includes legends in it in case you want to really break the rules. So, cool. For whatever reason, we'll say that this is a true list, right, that I have right here. Whatever point value it is. You'll see I'll click, drag, select it all. You'll see that I'll be able to save the list as an object right here after I've clicked and dragged it. And you'll see I'm able to toss it into where I want to toss it into. Once again, I've made some folders, but by default, it's going to go into a root folder. And so when I go ahead now, I'm able to click objects on any table that I'm playing on. Click saved objects. You can see it's right here, right? And again, I've made some folders and stuff like that just to keep things organized. So I can quickly go ahead and move it into my 40K folder in my saved objects. And boom, I'm able to paste my list right there. Nice part is other people don't need the mod loaded. It will just load automatically for you. You can see we've got some nice, beautiful models here. Let's talk about actually getting a table going in the game. So I'm going to just jump back out to the main menu. I am going to create a lobby. This time I'm going to do it as a multiplayer lobby, right? Server name really shouldn't matter that much because hopefully we'll all be Steam friends and whatnot. So we could either do it invite or friends. Both will work just fine. And then you can say max players. By default, it's 2. If you're playing a like team tournament practice or something like that, up it to 4, of course. Create your server. And then once again, we're right here. Workshop, 40K. You'll see that we have this FTC, right? 40K 9th edition base. This is a very helpful tool. We should be able to work with a different number of different maps on it. Load that up here. Right. We get to choose between red or blue player. I'll choose the red player. And then you'll see we're actually able to select our battle size too. Right. Strike Force, what we'll typically be playing on. Confirm it for gaming rather than map making. And then we need to get a map on here, right? We don't want to just play on a big blank slate unless you're Christopher playing on Tau. We want to go to our workshop once again. 40K. And we'll see right now we just have 2 tables. We'll have more. We'll click on the little symbol up here and then say additive load. Again, you should be able to do this with a lot of different tables in the game, just so long as it's the base table. It doesn't have like sides built onto it and stuff like that. Add it, and boom, you'll see that we've got what looks like a very typical table to what we've played with on Wednesdays in the past. Once again, we can go ahead, saved objects, get our army in here. I'll actually get one of my Dark Angels lists that I've been working on. All right, now we can move around these models independently. I can grab the whole squad, move it around, deploy it onto the table. Bada bing, bada boom. So you'll also see that I can go ahead and take, say, my Landspeeder Vengeance here. And then to figure out how far it would move, I've got this nice ruler. Nice part about it is that it actually snaps to the model. I'm able to measure out its movement range. And then, you know, boom, whatever, sit there and fiddle with it as much as you need to get it down. Boom. I'm able to place a marker, grab my hand again, move it to where that marker position was. So, nice and easy. If I want to rotate the model for whatever reason, I grab it up and I use my Q and my E key, and then I just simply release it. Typically do in the beginning is I select all the dice and just delete them. And when I actually need my dice, then I go ahead and say, okay, I need 12 dice. I'll say that I want to grab up boom and boom, right? Just clicking on the right buttons, select all the dice, toss it into this little box right here, and it'll roll it for me. Let's say I've got a captain or something like that, buy some core units, and I get to re-roll the ones. I'll be able to select all the ones, re-roll it, and then I have the numbers presented right here for me on the side. Nice and easy that way, right? My 2s miss. We'll say I'm hitting on 3s. Then I'm able to select all my dice again. We'll say I'm wounded on 4s. Boom, right? Lieutenant's not going to help me here. Select the 3s. I get to say that I did 6 wounds to you. So you can make rolling with a lot of dice really fast via that method. Or, you know, you can go ahead and, you know, have some fun and still roll your dice on the table if you want. Another nice thing about the table here is that you are able to actually select the various deployment zones and missions. Right, putting down the objectives for you and stuff like that. If you are Dennis Love and you are playing the big lonely game all by yourself, one thing that you'll notice is that when you hit start game here, it'll tell you that the red player must be there. So just go ahead. You got some tokens on the side, and you can just toss those on to where you need before the game begins, right? And then just turn this into nothing. Boom. After you've deployed your army. And last but not least, you'll see that you have a bunch of terrain rules here and stuff like that. So this is nice just for quick reference. Again, remember that We're not updating this mod and stuff like that, so as things may change in an FAQ, make sure you cross-reference to the rulebook and not just relying on what's here in Tabletop Simulator. Look forward to playing with you all again. Pretty jazzed about it. Catch y'all later.